But no, I did. I
don't want to tell you how to do your job.
But I did love this. I mean, it's kind of constantly surprising at this show. I just wondered if you could remember reading it for the first time and having that kind of same experience that the viewer is now going to kind of go on, and constantly feeling like you just never knew where this kind of story was going to take you.
Well, I will say we were constantly surprised because we didn't have all 6 episodes when we started, right?
Is that true?
Yeah. I think we had 3 episodes. I mean, I think we knew, the general direction it was going, but yeah, I was as surprised as you were when I got episodes 5 and 6.
It was a funny read. I remember the read-through was funny.
Oh, the read-through, yeah.
It was really funny.
We just read the first 2 episodes,
Maybe,
I think,
yeah.
It didn't, like reading it alone at home, that's a good point. It wasn't quite as humorous as Up on Its Feet, which is always the best kind of humor, I think.
Because we learned kind of early doors that Jamie is obviously perhaps involved.
Early what?
Early doors.
Early doors?
Yeah, that's his English.
Very English.
Oh, we said it
over my head as well.
Oh, yeah. No, we say if something happens early doors, it means it happens kind of quite early on in something. So
you don't even need doors.
No,
you can just say early.
I thought that was like a global thing.
Just say early. Happens rather early. Leave the doors out.
That's true, actually. The doors are completely irrelevant in that sentence. We learned quite early that Jamie is kind of perhaps involved in something bad and something that could encourage someone to seek revenge, of course.
Yeah.
So we're kind of a bit arm's length with the role to begin with. But was it quite important, do you think, to play him and for him to be written in a way that does evoke some sympathy from the viewer? You do find yourself kind of not always hating the man. You do feel yourself kind of feeling sorry for him in some of the predicaments he finds himself in.
Well, I mean, that's always the key to playing anyone is, you don't play what other people think of that person. You play what that person thinks of that person. So what attracted me to the role was, I'm not a guy that walks around with great certainty in the way I'm living my life or my philosophy or religion or whatever it is. And this guy did. This guy, was certain. And that was an interesting kind of place to play from, and then to watch his certainty get cracked as well.
Yeah, when you play, this is both of you, I mean, when you play kind of roles that have certain sort of personality traits like that are quite different to your own, do you ever find yourself in your real life ever kind of sort of leaning on some of the things that different characters have played? Or if you've played
I wish I had some magical powers and no. Yeah. Sorry.
You do. You have magical powers.
Yeah, but
she does. She has magical powers.
And of course, this takes place kind of across London and Greece. But I wanted to ask, I'm not interested in London, we're in London today, but about Greece and what it was like shooting kind of and out there. I mean, I went there for the first time last year, and it's the most magical place, and the food is exquisite. Were you able to see much of it when you were kind of out shooting?
Carice was way more adventurous than me. Super adventurous.
In my little car.
Took her car.
You drove.
Never washed it.
I saw you wrote something. Wash your car.
Why?
In the dirt of it.
Carice is a great explorer, I think. She can tell you about the island more than I could, but I love being there, just being at the place, the birth of our culture, really, and birth of drama. But you went all over.
You were thinking of the Roman Empire and stuff while you were sitting at the...
Oh, right, we had that was the thing at that point. It was like men can't go more... And I hadn't thought of goddamn Roman Empire since...
Until I brought it up again.
You brought it up. It's not me. It's not my fault.
Yeah, but he says he thinks about the Roman Empire every...
2 weeks.
Like about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I remember when that was a trend and that was going around, and I remember thinking to myself, God, I probably think about it at least once a month.
Yeah. Well, I changed it to ancient Greece rather than the Roman. Why do we think of the Roman Empire? Yeah, well, that's the question.
That is the question.
I mean, at this point, it makes sense, actually.
Yeah, you're right.
Just my very final question, because I mean, obviously you have both been involved in 2 of the most successful TV shows ever that have really kind of infiltrated pop culture, and kind of The X-Files and, of course, Game of Thrones. I'm interested to know, because obviously...
Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Yeah, but are you an X-Files?
But I was going to ask about, because I know from an audience perspective, it feels like TV is constantly changing with the kind of rise of streaming sites, and they feel like bigger budgets, and they feel kind of different to what they used to feel like. But from an actor's perspective, when you're on set, does it feel like TV's changed compared to when you were kind of on those shows, or when the cameras are rolling? Is it just the same as it's always been?
You've been a little bit longer in this business than I have. Just a little bit.
God, just cut this interview right now. Well, I think when we started doing the X-Files so long ago, TV was very different. But now, the budgets in television on Carice's show, I mean, it's bigger than movie budgets, so there's no difference. And in terms of acting, for me, there never was a difference. That's just the way it's consumed, either on a small screen or a big screen, or God forbid, on your phone, so...
The only thing is with the movie, sometimes, the end of the story. With Game of Thrones, I never knew if the next
Right.
season I was going to die or not, basically.
Yeah. Did you die? You don't
Kind
even
of.
know that.
Sort
So
of.
see,
You
see,
sort
this
of died?
yeah, I
I
sort of
never
took
watched
my own
it.
life.
I didn't watch it.
No, that's okay.
I heard it's great.
I didn't watch X-Files. Seriously.
I believe you. Oh, I
Because
believe you.
it was in a time that we didn't have.
You were a child.
I was a child. It's too creepy for me.
But wait, what do you mean you?
Well, you
don't-
never watched X-Files.
No. How can you not know if you died or not?
No, I had to think a little bit. No, I did.
It was
kind of
complex.
die. It was complex.
What's complex about it?
Well, I was sort of.
You're either dead or you're not.
No, I sort of took my own life. I had a ruby necklace on, that, whatever. If I took it off, I was all of a
Were you
sudden
the Red
200
Queen?
Red Witch.
Red Witch.
If I took it off, I was all of a sudden my own age. So I took it off, like, I've seen it here. That's it. I'm done. But I don't know what happened then. I don't know.
Really?
I just
Okay.
disappeared, basically.
All I know is that when my son came to visit, we went out for a little swim, and Carice was out there, and he was like, "I can't believe this."
That's cool. Well, thank you so much, guys. That's much appreciated. Cheers.
that was
That's all I had
it.
time for. Yeah, unfortunately. But thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey, you guys!
Hey you guys!
Hey, that's what they all say.
Hey you guys!
Hey, you guys!